Hello everyone, you're watching a player review team. Today is the third episode of our budget and not so budget TOTS selection, this time focused on German players and a few interesting options from the Turkish league. Who deserves your attention and why? Let's dive in. We're giving away 25 million coins and 5 weekend league boosts over the next 4 months while FC25 is still active. All links in the description. This time we tested nearly every card, except for Harry Kane, who goes for over 4 million coins and doesn't really qualify as a budget or even mid-budget player. Plus, he's not that different from his previous 600k version, but if you packed him, congrats, it's a top tier card. Let's move to the attacking line and start with the Bayern forward, who's most reminiscent of Sophia Wilson and Mia Hamm, which is quite the compliment. Here's a great example of agility and skill move speed, and yes, her passing stands out, that's why she fits perfectly in the shadow striker role. Harder will appeal to all tiki-taka fans thanks to her playstyles focused on passing. We actually liked her even more than Xavi Simons. The one clear downside is the lack of burst. In other words, there's almost no speed boost, and pace overall isn't too exciting, so long-range finesse shots are a must. Those finesse shots are fast, which adds even more speed to an already sharp animation model. Let's not forget about low-driven shots, which are consistently reliable. That again synergizes well with a small, agile model. So overall, we recommend her if you need a top-tier cam in the shadow striker role, or a nimble forward with a strong combo of shooting and passing traits. Staying on the topic of female players, we should mention Alexandra Popp, although aside from finesse shots, she didn't really stand out. Unlike the next Bundesliga option, Lineth Berenstein managed to seriously impress with her pace, dribbling, and shooting. You can play her both on the right wing and up front, though she's even better as a striker. She's got an amazing speed boost and lethal low-driven shots off both feet. On top of that, she's got 5-star skill moves and trickster. Add tiki-taka and long ball, and you've got a meta-ready setup for all situations. But her true standout quality is her agility in the box, giving her prime shooting opportunities. So if you've got no bias against women's cards, we highly recommend trying her, especially if you're looking for a goal-scoring, agile, explosive striker. Now, for those who don't want to use female cards or prefer something equally explosive and clinical, but with a stronger physical presence, you might want to splash the coins on Victor Osimhen, especially if you're in the mood to try something different, and not exactly cheap. Victor's still a speed demon, now with finesse shots and low driven. The finesse feels like most other top cards, but the real bonus is the 5-star weak foot. He uses his strength well, whether it's shoulder-to-shoulder duels or simply charging through defenders, thanks to Quickstep. Quickstep also unlocks a solid speed boost, and you can use lengthy chemistry styles if you like, though he's lightning fast no matter the setup. That speed boost reminded us a lot of Isak, they feel very similar in game, so honestly just get Isak, who's twice as cheap. To be fair, Osimhen's price is mostly due to his 4th golden playstyle, though that chip shot plus isn't something many will actively use. Plus, he lacks skill moves, trickster, and trivela, and while he's decent with long-range trivela, thanks to how scripted they are, you sometimes miss it in the box. Like in this example, a trivela would have helped. Instead, he shot with his left and couldn't beat the keeper. Of course, he'll still score low-driven with his left, but the trivela could have made the difference. Overall, it's a great card, but we won't recommend buying it. Just get Isak, who costs half as much. Even cheaper is Hugo Ekitike. His only real upsides are decent strength, speed boost, and the usual right-footed finesse. But yes, he really lacks that 5th star on weak foot, so expect some woodwork hits. Still, his lean and tall model gives him a nice left stick feel. In general, Hugo is decent, but we'd go with this guy instead. Yes, we know not everyone liked him, judging by the comments under our last video, but personally, we loved him. Schick is not only a fantastic target forward, but also fast and clinical. Here's a nice example: fast turn, burst, and a low driven to the far post. He's also got finesse, 5-star weak foot, and a very strong build. In short, this card is a must-have for budget teams. Or any team, really. And now, someone we definitely can't recommend: Serhou Guirassy. His only real power-ups are stylish glasses. Okay, he's got press proven and low driven, but the rest is mediocre or worse, especially compared to others here. He lacks acceleration, feels heavy, and is easy to shut down when receiving or sprinting. Sure, you'll occasionally get breakaways thanks to lengthy, but just get Schick if you need a powerful striker up front. Now let's move into midfield. Michael Olise is better than ever compared to past versions. The biggest improvement? Left stick dribbling. The Frenchman feels way smoother, as you can see here. The opponent clearly didn't enjoy that moment. He's got long legs and speed boost, so he's great in open space, and his shots are solid. Special mention to his finesse, which has always been part of his identity. Nothing new, but a good excuse to talk about how important Trickster is for those shots. Not just for finesse, but also Trivela, as shown here. Bottom line, great card. Totally worth the coins. Use him on the right or as a shadow striker. As for a playmaker, the ever-consistent Musiala does the job well. Yes, top tier, but we'd rather save up for this next guy, Florian Wirtz. What sets him apart are his incredible passes, but he's also super agile and sharp on the ball. In other words, elite left stick dribbling. His shooting traits are excellent too. Wirtz keeps the ball close and has super fast animations, including skills. No surprise for a short model. The downside, weak physical presence, he's easy to push off the ball. Still, he's got a sort of speed boost and golden low driven, so he can play shadow striker. Though really, his ideal zone is just outside the box, where he delivers genius passes or a silver Trivela. Once again, a basic playstyle means he can score without perfect timing. Honestly, if we didn't already have Simons, we'd consider buying Wirtz, and if he showed up as an untradeable, not sure Simons would keep his spot. All in all, a fantastic card, better than Bruno Fernandes and most other playmakers. Speaking of budget cams, let's mention Dusan Tadic. Despite strong stats and a nice price, we weren't interested. Yes, the Fenerbahce man has finesse, Trivela, and tiki-taka, but his left stick just isn't it. In short, the Serbian feels clunky and often loses control on quick turns. So no, we won't recommend him, but we will recommend his teammate, Fred. Super agile, great passing, solid defending, and good shooting too. Fred is explosive and technical. Think of him as a blend of Sawa and Vitinha, meaning it's harder for small models to shield or win duels, but the Sawa comparison is fair. First, Fred is sticky. Second, he's got anticipate, which is always helpful in midfield. And when it comes to playstyles, there aren't many, but all of them are useful with no fillers. Strongly recommend him to anyone who enjoyed Sawa, Vitinha, and similar cards. Another solid and affordable option is Kimmich. You can easily pair him with Fred and someone like Gullit or Vieira as your CDM. Though to be fair, their defensive traits alone were enough to manage without a tall holding mid. Kimmich as always delivers, and will please anyone who enjoyed his earlier cards. His passing is just as good as Wirtz. Check out this incisive pass. Overall, a great card, fully recommended. And finally, Amiri. Yes, he's clearly more attack-minded and has a light build, but he's still great as a right-sided playmaker in a trio. So give him a shot before submitting him into an SBC. As you know, in EAFC 25, the rewards for the Weekend League are awesome, which means that the game has become much harder to play. Our boosters will help you to get the best rewards. Write in, because the number of spots is limited. And don't forget that we also sell coins at a cheap price. All links in the description. This week saw what might have been a record drop in TOTS prices. We're not even going to say how many coins we lost testing all of them. But hey, let's not dwell on the sad stuff. Let's talk about Jonathan Tah and why, honestly, you probably don't need him. Now don't get us wrong, if you packed him, give him a shot. You might even end up liking him, but as far as buying him goes, we wouldn't recommend it. Sure, he's definitely fast. He can catch up with attackers in just a couple of strides. He's also got a powerful frame and a really solid set of gold and silver playstyles. But again, the price is mostly about that 4th playstyle plus and how rare he is in packs. On top of that, he's heavy and hard to control. Still, overall, we actually liked him. And if you're okay playing a CB without Anticipate Plus, then Upamecano isn't necessarily worse than Tah. He's also quick, strong, and fairly sticky, even without the Anticipate. Check out these examples. Clean tackles, the ball sometimes bounces off, but the initial challenge is spot on. You can also just play it safe with patient jockeying instead of lunging in. You can apply pressure with his body and wait for the ball to fall to him. And yeah, his aggression is no joke. Upa can straight up bulldoze players. So, should you replace your older version with this one? Not really, especially if you already gave him an Anticipate from the season. But his TOTS card is cheap enough now that it could be worth the upgrade. Another interesting option, also without the Anticipate, is Davinson Sanchez from Galatasaray. Yeah, we know, the lack of Anticipate Plus hurts. No blocks either. But it's not that bad. Most shots still get blocked, and it almost feels like he has gold intercept. The ball just sticks to him, and his animations are fast and clean. The standout with Sanchez is his speed, aggression, and surprising agility, all boosted by that gold jockey. It works great. He's lightning fast and easily keeps up with the most expensive CBs in the game. We also have to shout out his pure aggression and rock-solid presence. Check this out. Here, he completely ignores the attacker. And here, he literally pushes Jairzinho aside. The guy's a tank. All in all, It's a very well made, very usable card, even if he's missing some meta traits. Now if you're looking for something cheaper, Schlotterbeck's your guy. He's got the anticipate and decent stickiness. Objectively, Nico is a solid budget CB we could recommend. He's fairly agile and responsive, but sometimes he lacks that aggressive edge and physical strength, so we're not going to push too hard on him. Same goes for Piero Hincapié. He's even less aggressive in tackles, so it's easier for opponents to get away from him. Still, he's got the Anticipate Plus, and for some players that's more important than raw power. Also worth mentioning, he has Aerial Plus, which helps win headers despite being average height. That's a plus. Overall though, the card feels more mid-tier than meta, so let's keep going. Now fullbacks, starting with Alphonso Davies. Honestly, if Theo Hernandez and his latest evolution version didn't exist, Davies would be the obvious choice for many players. He's got a great body type that lets him win physical duels or shake defenders off with his agility and skills. His pace is excellent, even without lengthy, and he's got good aggression. So, if you don't have an upgraded Theo or even Mendy, definitely give Davies a shot. Grimaldo, on the other hand, is a solid budget version of Davies, surprisingly quick and with a decent physical presence. Despite his smaller frame, he can shield the ball and hold his ground better than expected. He's not easy to push off. That said, if you have the choice, we'd just go with Davies. Or better yet, upgrade Theo or Mendy via evolutions. Yeah, there were a lot of new TOTS cards this week, but we only covered the ones that really stood out to us. If you found a hidden gem that we didn't mention, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think, even if the card was featured in this video. And as always, if this video was helpful, or at least entertaining, don't forget to like and subscribe. We really appreciate the support. Thanks for sticking around till the end, and see you in the next video.